And look at the position of Flickless. He's just managed to thread the needle deep on the short. A flash sends Xiao backwards. Now mid is there for GX. Sure, Flickless the one that can be isolated. The other three, though. Actually, Westside, you're a little far out there. Oh, no, they're going one by one, and that made me very worried from what was an otherwise very clean display. 9-2 nonetheless. You can see the reason for the confidence.
Oh, for sure. Like, it seems like they don't believe they can miss a shot at this point, and in a lot of cases that has been true. His battle for mid was decimation, and it was only really Xiao in the 1v4 that made that look like there was any semblance of a close round. 9-2. From strength to strength. And maybe Haven was the one that ended up being that close map. As I said, coming in, I looked at this as a favorable map for NAVI. But GX have other ideas.
They definitely do. Updraft will save him from the first. Pulls the Hunter's Fury. Not finding its mark, and it won't in the end. Ara still breathing on full HP, full shields. Late mid play, but it's expected. You already saw the paranoia through from Rubinho to slow this down even more, but 1:15 on the clock, plenty of time as Navi already claims side control. It's Alexic with a double in the corner. Ara grabs one, but getting out of here will be a challenge, and they'll be dropped eventually. The advantage here for Navi, it looks like 9-3 should be in the books.
Alexic did everything. Those two openers were basically just him running through with no one hit by any utility and managing to get two. Might have just given them a third round, but we've already seen, especially with the likes of Grabinho still standing, that there's always an opportunity. And definitely knowledge of some of their positions, but being caught by the knife at the time starting to tick away. Grabinho still has so much to do. One already coming up, and it's that late flank, another being dropped. Xiao at the back of the site needs to stay standing, and a man who's yet to get a kill has got to try and deny them. The fragment should be onto that spike, and it should deny Grabinho. There's just not enough time. It's coming up at least something. A Red Bull clutch from Angel. He managed his first kill in the final round.
I was so worried that wasn't going to land as well. If that nade missed, that's the end. What a time to put up his first and only kill of the half, but it's one that does cement around for Navi. 9-3 though, an uphill battle indeed. Let's hope Navi have got their hiking boots for the second half.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Well, we had questions coming into that half. Will we see Ara still deliver? Would Alexic find his form? Would it be the same Angel from map 1? It wasn't. Grabinho certainly drawing a lot of our eyes, but speaking about the leaders down on the stage, Angel and Cloud, like I said, it's been a different half that both of them have lived.
I think as well, it's less for me now about the numbers and more about the mental resilience. Of course, when you are leading a team that's already winning the match, a lot of it is going to be about not going overboard, getting those rounds over the line. For Angel, it's about building back into the match. He may be 1-10, but I'm way more concerned about Ruxic being 2-10. He has been their best player consistently. In fact, he's been one of the best players in the entirety of the league, but he is having a quiet performance. A pistol round victory, and Navi on a map that has always had strong defensive sides, they have an opportunity. But realistically, the pistols, at least the last few, have not been going their way.
Well, round 13, your second pistol here. It's been 3 for 3 in the last ones. Last map in this for GX. 5 players spotted. Well, they're certainly not flying under the radar, but they're also not fleeing. Oh, that's very
It's got the
awkward.
same as the last half.
That's very awkward indeed.
Rooksik definitely doesn't seem to be lacking any confidence. He also now has the same as the last half. It is looking like a potential turning point. Ara's definitely had his moments in the pistol, and you can see that with the amount of control that's already there for NAVI, they are locking in any players that look to try and rotate Hero. This is an unorthodox position that definitely won't be expected by Grabinho. If there was ever a way back in, an in-zone flawless in the pistol round is a good way to start.
Disrupting the consecutive pistol wins for GX now. 9-4, possibly 9, probably 9-5. That was really unfortunate. The reveal, 2 players body blocking each other, Cloud and Westside. Look, Cloud, obviously someone's made the call, probably him. Let's go in, let's flood the space. Reveal pops, he's like, no, no, go away, run away. And, well, the comms get crossed a little bit. 5th on the board for Navi if they win this one. And it is Classics and the Sheriff they're up against, so we're not expecting too much to go wrong for the defensive side.
Yeah, it's definitely not the biggest investment in on the other side though either. 2 pistols, an SMG, a Marshall. Oh, and then it seems like there's just gaps being left. Like, I think Xiao clearly thinking that Alexic had that covered and then almost goes down because of it, especially with him being one of the players with a gun. I can only assume he's going to give that over to Hero, and with the only rifle, that could have been devastating. Rooksik, this is disgusting. He has put down a smoke as just a bait, putting in the one-way just to try and sell the idea that he's still on the other side of it. Eventually will be there to execute his opponent, and this man is already looking like he's going to have a much better defensive half.
Well, that's the scary thing. Like, 9-5, it's not that big of a gap, and if we do see Rooksik reach the levels that are usually his floor, then this game could very easily flip out of control. We talked a lot about Alexic as well, and if you remember, if you were with us earlier on, we were looking at his defensive opening duels, and on the attack, he can be a guy that lays down his life a lot for the team, that takes that space, the old style, what we used to see from like a Jet on Split. That is how he plays attack side a lot of the time.
Or an Ascent.
Or an Ascent. Yeah, very good point. We're here. But on the defense, this guy has a lot of success. It was last week 12-3 in defensive opening duels. If they can replicate that, you got Rooksik online, Angel can be there. And all of a sudden, this becomes a close game from what looked to be a shoe-in for GX.
Yeah, we've got to see how they're going to be able to deliver over on their attack side. Oh, ready, opportunity, but a weaker weapon and not capitalizing. Rooksik, this Spectre has not been a weak weapon. Oh, it's not the prettiest, but even still, a trade is not the worst. That Marshall needs to get something here. Even if it's just tags, bring some of those players lower. They're not quite hitting, and well, Angel's found one, but that rifle dropping to the deck is not ideal, and there's no way that Alexic's going to be able to correct to hit that shot. An advantage found, a 10th looking likely, and a tough retake for Hero and Xiao.
Got to go for this 2v3. The odds aren't stacked that heavily against them. No deep clear of short. Obviously pretty happy that all 3 are towards the site, and as the door breaks, they have to be worried about, hey man, that's always a possibility for someone to be there this late into the game, and with Cloud finding Hero now, maybe you'd think about a save in a lot of these rounds. Xiao's going for it, but the result is as expected. Double digits locked in for GX, 10-5, and very much reaching the home stretch if they win this one.
Yeah, all in all, you take this as a bonus round, you go, that's not bad. Like, you made it a little bit costly, but when you look at the scoreline, that's where you're hoping for a little bit more from NAVI. Wow, for GX, they managed to keep that one at least decently. They are going to have a few troubles here and there, but they will be able to juggle the rifles over. I'm more interested, though, in that Alexic operator. We mentioned he was 25-8 the last time he played on Ascent, and a lot of that came down to the defensive side. They really need him to have a performance here.
It's must for Navi, and
nice
it's Alexic to open up. West side down. Navi now looking to overextend. Sure, they'll fire a flash through, but it's all posturing. One thing to be concerned about, really, is what I'm seeing over here. Grabinho's looking to work space on A, and if he goes a little more brazen, he had a window to walk through, but now the rotations come through. You've got an operator stood up top waiting for that.
Yeah.
The right read from NAVI as the rotates come through.
Yeah, Cloud already has his ult online though. He's been farming up the orbs. Now if they fire this through short, he could have a nasty couple of tags, or at least he can dismantle the position that is being held by Alexic. Give them that post plant. Early flash. There goes the Hunter's Fury. They have been caught by their own util, but as said, this is the space that they wanted. The main idea is to get them into position and allow them to fight in that after plant. They have, however, taken a lot of damage on that cross.
30 seconds
Nicholas is lucky to make that cross. He was jumping across the smoke and jumping. Grabinho! Oh, he's just made it out of that nade. 9 HP.
Ooh.
A spam from Angel almost catches him. Flickless onto Xiao. Numbers thinning as the attackers come up in most fights. Grabinho's still in heaven, and he will be dropped, leaving it all onto Ara. But this man has performed in so many of the big rounds for GX, and this a chance to put them on the home stretch, to decimate NAVI, and he's got the first. The follow-up is there too. A Red Bull clutch for Ara. 11-5. And NAVI left in the dust.
Yeah, that might just be the nail in the coffin. We were saying that it can be a slog to grind out these attack side rounds, but that Red Bull clutch is exactly what they needed from Ara. He's maybe not had the craziest of games, but if he's able to get them over the line, and you can see how fired up he is, staying in that upper bracket has so much extra value. For NAVI, their lifeline is fading away, and a matchup versus Vitality that could send them out for the year. This is the last chance for Happy to talk with the team. And well, hopefully he's got some value to bring.
Happy to talk with the team, and Pipson to talk at the team.
Yeah.
It's good. I love seeing that from Ara though, man. Seeing him fired up down on that stage. I don't know why I said bots. Angel's the only bot on NAVI. It's just, he's playing a robot.
Right.
That's what I mean. So it's kind of weird. But other than that, I think Ara perfectly justified in the trash talk. I mean, you want to see him, especially after that first map where, like I said, he felt shut down, but on Haven he had full command. That game was all his, and then we moved to map 3. And to be honest, you know, he's been good. He's had his rounds. Grabinho went 8-0, didn't die for a long time, finished the last half, what, 16-4? He's definitely been my highlight, but Ara's not far behind. I mean, other than, as I said, Xiao's been having just a great series. I don't remember seeing him play like this for quite a while.
It's a shame that it seems like, at least in this map, you haven't got the rest of them. I like this. Oh, a pause called, and you just want to pick up the pace. End this quickly, move as a unit. You're up against a weaker purchase, but a purchase of sorts. And this round already looks done. Within the first 20 seconds, you've given your opponent something to think about. They've had the talk, they've been sat there with their coach trying to figure out what to do, and then you've just blitzed them.
Updraft battle, I like it. Yeah, for NAVI, obviously they've got the Blade Storm here. Ruxic's got a Bulldog to play around, but this was very much a save money for the next, which is a brave call when you're staring down the barrel of a 12-5, 7 consecutive rounds when the most they've had is, what, 2? Blade Storm fired at the shots through the smoke. They found it. Okay, this is now looking winnable. I don't know why I'm having to pay attention. I thought it would be just a few picks, but now the Diffuse already tapped, draws them into the open. Ruxic drops Ara. Diffuse needs to be stuck though. He just has to drop the Diffuser, and that's exactly what Grabinho does. Very well played. The Red Bull clutch for him. And GX locking in that 12th round. Yes, it was a low buy from NAVI. They lost early fights, whatever. They now need 7 in a row.
Yeah, the fact is, even though, again, like, fantastic work from Ruxic to be able to clear out 4 in this scenario, I don't even know if that extra kill was needed at the end. It was so late on that defusal, and it doesn't matter in the end. 12-5, economy damaged for sure, but when you have this much of a run at it, I don't think there's anything NAVI can do to turn this one around. That lower bracket is calling. Their lifeline is fading. And well, in this round at least, do have themselves the better of the buys. I love the bait. Ara just willing to sell himself for that additional trade. And once again, they have this A-site post plant with an advantage.
Oh, that's disgusting too. Ara threading the needle. He'll be shut down eventually, but the work has been done, and it should be enough. They know where Xiao is already. Now they know Alexic's position. They've seen the op too. There'll be no easy kills granted. Over to the rifle, Alexic dash online. He needs this opener for them to have a chance, and he gets it. Even gets out cleanly. Repositions for the fight on Flickless. It's beautiful from Alexic, but much more is asked of him. He has to hold the line as the defuse is underway. And it's Alexic who can walk out of this round with his head held high. He's just bought NAVI a chance.
Yeah, again, it's another round where those advantages were there in the early battles, the execute. Ara doing fantastic work, not only to just dive in to almost die, but he ends up taking a kill later in the round. But it's this man, once again, we mentioned him on the defense, but if anything, this was a full retake. It wasn't him being set up for success, it was him taking it with his own hands. He's almost top fragging, by the way, after what had been a relatively quiet game thus far. It's not going to matter, though, unless they can string 6 in a row. This one, the most likely of the lot. With Ara on a Blade Storm, there's still an opportunity.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing to be taken for granted in this round. Ara's had, again, even just think back to Haven. He has been the threat that NAVI struggled to deal with, and the Blade Storm, and nothing to lose. It's going to go from bad to worse. Thrown out. Xiao's going to be revealed, but he's safe behind the wall. The problem is he's not safe from Ara, who's going to jump through the trap to take that pick. Eats the stun. Hero under pressure now, but he's got backup.
They're going the other way. They're going the other way.
They've ran into the op. They've taken Alexic down. It's the Blade Storm again to draw blood. Now the A site's open for business. Oh,
he's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
Risky play, and it will not pay off. Ara's found a third with the Blade Storm, and this one is done.
It is a pay save card, Thrifty, that will end it for the side of GX, and a dominant final map to take it home. They came into this series talking about it being a 50-50 with NAVI dominating map number 1. We started to call that into question, but it's the resilience and the turnaround from GX that will keep them in that upper bracket. And while speaking of turnaround, they've got to go and start getting ready for tomorrow, because they'll be back here in not too long, as they'll be looking to face off against Team Liquid.
After that first map on Bind, seeing the bounce back from GX, I mean, the writing was on the wall. Those last 4 or 5 rounds of Bind, they looked like a different team that had played out that first half, but there wasn't enough runway. The foundations laid too thin with a terrible opening, and then they end up bouncing back on Haven, putting their best foot forward and giving NAVI a taste of their own medicine. A 13-6 to close out the series that opened with a 13-5 defeat against them. GX, they continue to surprise us down on that stage. They dug deep. The win is all theirs. The upper bracket run continues.
Yeah, for sure. I think as well, I was questioning after maybe a few games that didn't quite go to plan. Even the map pool coming into this one, their ascent had been dismantled by Heretics, but they kind of proved that they have that little bit extra left in the tank to try and make that run for champions. We mentioned that both of these teams are in a similar position in terms of how they like to play this one. But it's, again, some of the ideas they have into these rounds, and then some of the mistakes that were made on the other side. They are so ready to capitalize off them. And while for the side of GX, they'll be very happy marching on, but it's only going to get tougher from here.
Oh yeah, that is the first totem topple, but much more is to be told of this GX story. For now, let's try to get a peek behind the curtains as IGL Cloud is standing by down on the stage with Kukuka.
Thank you very much, guys. As you said, I am here joined by Cloud. Cloud, it was a very intense and long day here at VCT EMEA. I think that especially for your matchup, at the end of map 1, when you kind of knew that it was not going your way, you know, we got a peek of one of the speeches that you were given, being like, guys, we might not win it, but we still need to be focused. How does that translate into what we just saw on map 3?
I feel like we weren't on the same page on the first map. Also, nobody was like kind of giving their full energy, and I try to hype up the team. I know our potential that we can play, and it was just about to turn them up, you know, my teammates, and I tried to do it like as much as I could.
Yeah, okay. Coming into, you speak about the plans, the energy, this and that. Coming into playoffs, you know that you're the team with the least points, so you need practically a miracle, but it's 100% doable. What has been the plan for you guys coming into playoffs overall?
I mean, our plan is just to get the experience, don't struggle with the pressure in playoffs, I think, and of course try to win every game, game by game, brick by brick, step by step.
Where's my anime promo video? You guys have been doing such a good job. I was so disappointed when I saw the Pipson just saying, no video, we're just focusing on winning. I feel like we're owed one. If you make it to champs, it has to be massive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You promise me?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. So before I let you go, it's late. You're playing tomorrow, and you're playing against Team Liquid. Now, in VCT EMEA, Claudio, you've never won against them. I know that there was an off-season tournament that you played, and you got the victory against them. But when it comes to the big stage, when it comes to the region, there's no victory. What do you make of Team Liquid?
I mean, pretty good team. I think we'll just prepare tonight or tomorrow before the game, and let's see who will win. But they're pretty confident.
So
like I saw some interviews from their players that they think they are unbeatable, but they're pretty beatable.
They're pretty beatable?
Of course.
Okay, so well, best of luck tomorrow. Again, I don't want to keep you too long because it's pretty late, but we had a day full of action here in EMEA, and playoffs are just getting started. So as we say goodbye, let's take a look at the Herman Miller Gaming end of day highlights. Thank you very much to you, Cloud, for the victory and for being here with me, and for everyone here for watching and sticking with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
That easy, it's that easy. That's what we want. Let's have a little bit of a mess. Oh my god! Yeah! Both players holding, and confirmation there. Fnatic on the debut of the road will win it out.